Welcome back to another powerful episode of Rise Every Nation. I'm your host, Taryell Simmons, and today we're diving deep into the roots of transformation, mind, body, and spirit. What is the key to breaking generational trauma, anxiety, and financial blocks? It's already encoded in your DNA. Our guest today is known as the teacher of teachers and the leaders of leaders. He's a human optimizer, executive coach, and founder of Human Optimization 3.0, Coach Anthony Cudjo. Did I say it right? Cudjo?
You said it right,
All
Taryell.
right.
It is Cudjo.
And we're going to break down that name in a minute because I know there's some history by that name. And Coach Cudjo, he's been a professional athlete, NLP master, ESPN host, and coached thousands through unlocking the creative forces that shape our lives. Coach Cudjo, welcome to the show. I gotta begin by saying Cudjo. That sounds like a powerful last name. I need you to tell me the origins and the history of this name.
Well, the Cudjo tribe originated from Ghana, Africa. Of course, you know the story of how our people came to this country.
Yep.
And I say our people because I speak in a vernacular so people can understand. But there's a deeper discussion than that. But at the end of the day, yes, my family originated from Ghana, Africa. Louis Cudjo was one of the first freed slaves in America, which was my great-great-grandfather. I am also a Seminole freeman, third generation. And you can do your research about Seminole freemen. It was the African Americans that actually stood next to the Indians, the Seminole Indians, and fought with them for their freedom, their collective freedom. So I'm third generation, Seminole freeman, if you will. But it's so much bigger than the discussion of who we are on this planet, man. Once I realized that it was a bigger game than what I was playing, I focused all of my energy to learn how to master it.
Nah.
And what I have found is that, a lot of people struggle with a lot of things because they don't know who they really are. Nah. It's about knowing who you really are. And to be honest with you, Taryell, you are much bigger than a human being. You are much bigger than that. I'm not saying that a human being is a small thing. It is a great thing. But you are much bigger than that. So if you really want to find your true purpose, your true power, your true peace, you have to understand who you really are before you enter this physical body, because this physical body is a tool. It's nothing but a tool. It's a tool on this planet of creation. And I'm so honored, brother, that you have brought me on to share my story, to share any knowledge that I may have to help your tribe to move forward in their lives. And some of the things I'm going to talk about today will transform you if you'll just grab onto it. Transformation doesn't take a lot of time. A lot of us have been taught that. Society has taught you that time is part of the process. I'm here to tell you that there's no such thing as time. All you have is now.
Hey, you about to wake a lot of people up and break.
All you have is now, man. And listen, my king. King, I'm trying to tell you something. If you live in the moment of now, guess what happens? And this is what I discovered for my own life.
Hey.
And I want everybody to sit down because this is going to be rough. You're going to have a hard time believing this. I had a hard time believing this, so it took me 3.5 decades to get here because I'm a roughneck, man. I don't believe things easily. I'm not led easily. I have to test things and make sure they're tried and true before I actually do them. And then I also need to test them to make sure they're tried and true before I actually teach other people how to do it.
Yeah.
So, thousands of clients later and 3.5 decades later, I think I have the formula to help people break through any aspect of what's holding them back in their lives, because it's all in your DNA, as you said.
Yeah, it's all in the DNA. And I think once people, and it's funny, I was just having a discussion with somebody about this the other day, because somebody was asking me, like how I stay so confident and so forth. And, the life work that I do, I was like, what I'm learning to do is, sit with myself and go inward to myself.
Yes.
Because everything that I need is already within me. And it's when I look outside of myself is when the confusion, the distractions, and the humble lessons that you learn that take you down a different pathway. And I tell people, like, life is never happening to you; it's happening for you. It's because you didn't sit with you long enough to understand what you were supposed to be doing in your thing, right? And where you was, what the spirit, the universe, and God is aligned for you to be doing. And that's why you may be receiving the challenges you're receiving to either teach you a lesson or redirect you or get you back to where you need to be if you just sit and listen with you. But let me not go too far down to preach down what you gonna preach to
No,
us.
no, that's good. That's good, bro. You know what? Since you brought that up, can we stay in that lane for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Stay in there.
Okay, so first of all, I want to congratulate you because your perspective about your life has expanded. You now know who you are, and you now know what you are, and you also now know why you are. Mm-hmm. You see, I tell people, man, before you do anything else, you need to stop and discover those three things. Because if you don't, you're going to run into a tremendous amount of challenges in your life, and they're already built in for certain reasons. So let's just start at the beginning. DNA. Your DNA. Every human being has DNA, right, Taryell? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
You see, I focus on the common laws and the common denominators that connect us all, because that's the truth. Mm-hmm. You see, our color is not the common denominator. You're black, I'm black. We see white men and yellow men and red men and all different color type of men and women on this planet. So that's not the common denominator. Mm-hmm. The common denominator is that you're a human being, first of all. Secondly, you have DNA. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your DNA and what that really is. Your DNA, are you ready, Taryell?
I'm ready.
Your DNA is the divine nature of the Almighty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to let him sit with that for a minute. Because if you understand the nature of the Almighty and you understand that you have that same nature within you, you'll stop worrying about things. You'll stop. You see, if you live in the moment of now, all you have is now. Because if you're even thinking about your past, you're doing it right now. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking about your future, you're doing it right now. Mm-hmm. So the only thing you really have is now. So I tell people, if you can master the moment of right now, you can master your life. Mm-hmm. You see, when you live in the moment of now, two things will leave you: depression and anxiety. Depression is built from thinking about the past behaviors, past challenges, trials, tribulations, victories or not. When you look at your past, you're probably not as happy as you could be because you're looking at all the things that maybe you should have done or the things that you should have said. And so guess what you're doing to yourself, Taryell? You're judging yourself. Mm-hmm. You see, self-judgment will segregate you at all times, and especially internally. You'll lose your power when you're judging yourself. And if you'll notice, society keeps you in that level. They keep you on that plane. Mm-hmm. Judge yourself. Judge yourself against your friends, your neighbors, your other people in your society. Judge yourself. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah. Self-judgment will disempower you every single time. Mm-hmm.
Keeps you operating at a level that can be controlled when you're not supposed to be at that level. You're supposed to be at a much higher level of
creation. You are? Yes, your frequency and vibration. Now, here's the deal. Here's the great thing about it. You get to choose. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, so we can build the foundation to this conversation and they can follow us on this. I want to talk to you about who you are now before you entered your physical body. Mm-hmm. You are an eternal spirit. And this has nothing to do with religion. Mm-hmm. See, once again, religion is social. It's a social constraint. Sorry. I know it's hard to believe, but man made religion. Okay. So you can go in either direction you want to go with that. I'm not going to talk about that. This has nothing to do with religion. This has to do with the law of your being. Mm-hmm. So you can't get away from it. This is who you are. You are a divine spirit. You are a spirit of eternity. You are eternal. Understand that. You have access to everything, all knowledge, all power. It's already put inside of you. It's inside of your DNA. I told you your DNA was the divine nature of the Almighty. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have all power inside of you. You have all knowledge inside of you. Now, what I want to do is, as I'm talking to you, I want you to pay attention to how society has trained you against this belief. Mm. Okay? You have all power inside of you. You have everything, all knowing inside of you as well. Once you accept that and understand that. Okay? You entered into this physical body. Now, here's the deal. you knew and you know, you have forgotten, but your cells haven't. You have 40 plus trillion cells in your body. Those cells are connected to the divine. Those cells operate with complete integrity. Those cells operate with even out your interaction. They're doing things right now without you even thinking about it. They're rejuvenating. They're giving you energy. They're giving you life without you even thinking about it. So they have their own individual intelligence within your collective intelligence, which is you. Stay with me. This is the truth. So when you understand that you are a divine being, and guess what? Your plan, why is it, Taryell, that every human being that I've ever met always asks me, what's my purpose? Mm-hmm. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do we all ask that question? Why am I here and what is my purpose? You see, you asked that question because it was put inside of you whenever you were created, because you're supposed to be asking that question. You're supposed to remember who you are. That's why you ask that question internally. Mm-hmm. It's already, everything's coded in your DNA. It's already inside of you. And guess what? Every aspect of life knows this. Every breath that you take knows why you're here. This is why life will start to bump you around and push you around to help you to discover what you're here for. If you ask those questions, life will answer those questions for you. There's not one question that you could ask life and life not give you the answer. Mm-hmm. The problem is most people don't ask themselves the questions. They ask everyone else outside of themselves the question, and they're focused on their external life, Taryell. They're not focused on the internal life, for the internal life creates the external life. Anything you see externally outside of you, be it relationships, people, situations, it's just a mirror of what's going on inside of you. You have to take ownership for all of it. Mm-hmm. And when you stop taking ownership, you disempower yourself to change anything. See, it's not your mama's fault. It's not your daddy's fault. It's no one's fault. There's no fault here. It's just creation here. Here's what we're doing on this planet, folks. You're here to discover, and you're here to create. That's what you're here for, man.
Yeah.
Look at your life. You'll see I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You're here to discover who you are and why you are and what you're doing down here. That's what you're here for, to discover that. And you're here to create. You're here to create the life you desire and you deserve. Unfortunately, what people don't understand is that you are already a creator. You can't get away from that. It's in your DNA. I'm going to keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
Look at your life. You've created it. No matter what it looks like, good or bad, it's your creation.
Yeah. I tell my wife that all the time. I was like, because often there's been pockets in the last 10 years of my life where I spoke what I was going to create into existence to her, and those things manifested. And I was like, look what we've created, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So you see the power of what I'm saying. You're living it.
We always trip out about that. I was like, it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen, but look, we still got to the destination.
Well, you know what's so cool about this, man, is that, you know what? You speak your destinations. God's job is to unfold the plan to get you there. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So no, I'm sure it didn't happen 100% the way you desired for it to happen, but it did happen.
Yeah.
You see, here's the thing. When you speak, you have to know your words will not return to you void. Mm-hmm. By the law of creation, words create. People don't even know how they create, Taryell. They have no clue because they never stop to look at this. Mm-hmm. You know, H3L is all about helping you understand that you are the power. You have three distinct energies in you over and over and over. You have spirit, mind, and body. And it's not body, mind, and soul, brother. You don't create anything like that. Everything you create is spirit, mind, and body. Your spirit whispers to your mind. Your mind thinks about it. Now, here's what happens, Taryell. Here we go. An idea came. Okay? You started thinking about that idea over and over, good or bad. You get to make the decision. No one else does. Mm-hmm. But still, this is still the law. Yeah. If you think about it and it's good, so be it. If you think about it and it's bad, so be it. But this is still the law of creation. So you're going to be thinking about it for a while. And the more you think about it, guess what happens? Mm-hmm. The more creative energy by law actually starts to create this thing.
Yeah.
So here you are, you're thinking about it day and night, you're thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, guess what the next step is, Taryell? You start having internal conversations about it. You start talking to yourself about it. That's the next step. And then you'll talk to yourself about it and talk to yourself about it. And then eventually you're going to go talk to someone else about it, because that's the next step. You're either going to tell a friend, a family member, a relative, someone close to you that you trust, or you're either going to tell someone that you know can help you to create whatever you're desiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So once you tell that person, guess what happens? You just created more energy, because energy does two things. It transfers and it transforms. That's it.
Hold on, let's pause for a second. Let them let this digest for a second, because this is why I tell people, like, really be mindful of your thoughts, right? Your thoughts and your
Yes.
words, because those all have power, and
you have control over this stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I said you are a creator. My goal is to make you a conscious creator. See, that's where your power comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You're already a creator. Okay, just like the tree outside of my house, man. It's a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what it is. It's a tree by design. It can't do anything but produce foliage and fruit.
Right.
Okay, so that's by the design of being a tree. You are a human being. You are a creator. I've already told you, you are the divine. And I tell people this, and it scares them, Taryell. It scares them, but man, let me tell you something, brother.
It does.
I'm here to tell the truth. Your job is to make a decision.
Yeah, it does scare them. And I think, you know why it scares them? And it scares them because it forces them to deal with their truth, and it forces them to get uncomfortable. Something that me and you've done in our journey. And let me rewind back so I can ground people into who Coach is, because he's been through his own transformational journey. And I want to begin with your origin story, because you've spoken openly about your journey through abuse, anxiety, and anger. What moment shifted everything for you?
I don't know if I could put my finger on one moment. I think it's been a culmination of a lot of moments that shifted things for me. But as far as me coming from a background of abuse, I had to understand what that was all about. And once again, when I realized that what I'm living was the plan that I had designed for myself before I entered my physical body, and I came on this planet and said that I was a human being for a short amount of time. When I realized that this is part of the plan, I accepted it, and I was able to move on, man, and say, hey, you know what? All that abuse gave me the knowledge and the experience to be able to teach people today. Yeah. You see, I would have no empathy or understanding of anyone who would come to me and say, I was abused, man. I would, how can I have any understanding or empathy for them? I've never experienced that, but I have. I've experienced all levels of abuse, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. So it's just, understanding that and accepting that as my truth, and accepting that as part of the plan of who I am and what I'm creating on this planet. I don't see it as a negative thing anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
So, making that decision that I was going to be powerful and not pitiful.
Yeah.
Pitiful meaning that I'm blaming everybody else for my problems. Pitiful meaning I'm not taking ownership for any aspect of my life. Pitiful meaning that I don't believe in who I really am, and that I can't achieve the things that I truly desire, just full of excuses and, self-pity. You'll never get forward. You'll never move forward in your life the way that you desire and you deserve if you're living in that energy, because that's a defeating energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everything is energy. I look at everything as energy, man. I don't look at it any other way. I don't get caught up in the social constraints of religion and politics and everything else, and social economic status and all these things that they have that actually divide us as human beings. Mm-hmm. And the problem is, we are one, but yet we're diverse. Yeah. We're all going back to that same source, man. I promise you, Taryell, the same source that's beating my heart right now, and that same source that's making my body breathe. Because remember, I'm not doing this. I promise you. Mm-hmm. God is beating my heart. God is making making me breathe. If you don't believe me, hold your breath. I promise you're going to have to give it back to God, and then God's going to give it right back to you. It's called inhale, exhale.
Yeah. Man, oh, trust me, I'm picking up everything you're saying. And, I love how your journey, all of those early struggles kind of shaped the foundation of H3O. And the reason why it resonates with me so much because, a little bit after George Floyd, I was kind of thrusted into like a community leadership position where I had the whole space for like different people from all walks of life and background. And the only reason I was able to stand in my truth during that time and have robust conversations to help everybody recognize each other humanity with civility and have these tough conversations is because I went through all of it and it was all painful
Yes.
before,
Yep.
but I realized I was perfectly being built for the moment that reached me where I was at that particular space and time.
Yes.
And that's what I feel about your journey. Um, you have encoded in you this specific DNA to teach others through pain and hard and difficult conversations. But I want to let's talk about one of the most transformational parts of your journey, overcoming limiting beliefs, because I think this is where we were headed when we went off on our little bit of tangent, and I think a lot of listeners could gain some valuable lessons from you about this. You said you were governed by the three power centers: spirit, mind, and body. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. The creation is this. Here's the problem that people don't, first of all, your mind is not in your skull. That's
Mm-hmm.
where your brain is. Your brain is the CPU. Again, I want you to understand that your body is nothing but a electrical, magnetic device. Now, let me explain what that means. Bio means that you have biology, you have cells, you have your organs, you have your blood, you have all these different aspects of your biology that are keeping your physical organism alive. And there's laws that govern your biology. And a lot of people just don't understand that. And this is why they get sick a lot. So I teach people the first thing is you've got to master how to live in that body. And the first thing you have to do is you have to honor your body because that's where you live. And you can't get away from it. You see, I've had numerous cars in my life, and I've lived in a couple different homes in a couple different states. But you know what? I've been in this body every single time, no matter where I go. So I tell people this: if you really want to become a powerful human being, you better take control of your health, because your body is where your frequency and your vibration is coming from. That's why when you feel sick, you have no energy, you're talking negatively to yourself, and life is not fun. Okay, your frequency and your vibration have tremendously dropped because your cells are struggling with health. But when your body is healthy, you have more frequency and a higher level of vibration, so you can create things pretty quickly with a high level of frequency and vibration. So the spirit itself is already complete. There's nothing that is incomplete about your spirit, because once again, your spirit is a piece of God that's inside of you. Now, when I say God, I want you to get clear with me. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about religion at all. I'm talking about the energy and power of who you are.
Yeah.
Okay? So, spirit talks to mind. Your mind is in every cell of your body. And if you don't believe me, your body's been trying to talk to you and you haven't been paying attention. Have you noticed, Taryell, when great things happen in your life, or you've made some good decisions, or you've thought about something and you got confirmation and you got cold chills? Have you ever had cold chills before, Taryell? Every single human being has. Again, I'm talking about common denominators here. Every human being has had cold chills. Why is that? That is your cells agreeing and confirming what's going on in your life, that's the right direction. See, your body talks to you in feelings. Your body never uses words to talk to you. Your body talks to you in feelings. That's why when you don't feel good, your body's struggling with energy. It's saying, hey, you're going the wrong direction and you're living against the law of my biology. So if you'll just get in harmony with the law of your biology, I'll feel better and I won't get sick.
Yeah.
And I know that's a big statement. But let me tell you something, my brother. I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 next month. I don't get sick.
At all?
I don't get sick. Well, it's because I choose not to.
Okay.
Okay, so let me ask you a
I
question.
gotta get to that level. I gotta get to that level.
Do you think God Almighty walks around coughing?
No, I don't.
Do you think God Almighty struggles with flus and colds and sickness and disease. And do you think that God really does that?
No, I don't.
God has the ability to do that. You get to choose. You see, that's one thing I learned in my life coming from abuse. I get to choose the life that I desire, and I get to choose the life that I deserve, and I get to go fulfill it through my words, my actions, and my beliefs. So here we are, your mind, going back to your mind. Your mind is in every cell of your body. Your mind is fully intelligent. If you ask yourself questions, those answers will come. I love what you said earlier. You said you found and discovered a lot of truth in your life when you got silent. I always tell people this, Taryell, let silence speak. If you really want to find out who you are, I'm going to challenge you, listeners, my wonderful, wonderful listeners. I'm going to challenge you for the next 30 days. I want you to go in a quiet room. I want you to shut the door. I want you to turn your phone off or flip it over where you can't see it. And I just want you to spend 5 minutes in there. Just 5 minutes. Start off with 5, and I promise you it's going to grow. That's how I started. 5 minutes. Just go in the room for 5 minutes. Shut the lights off. Close your eyes. Okay? Because when you close your eyes, you can see everything.
You sure can.
It's amazing how it works. So close your eyes, man, and all you do is just be quiet. You're going to hear a lot of things. You're going to hear a lot of voices in your mind. You're going to hear a lot of voices inside of you. You're going to hear a lot of thoughts. And you know what? At the end of the day, don't engage with them. Just let them pass. They're nothing but clouds anyway.
Nah.
Let them pass. Even the good thoughts, just let them pass, man. Just sit there and be complete for 5 minutes. Guess what? Your life deserves it. You deserve it. Your health deserves it. And what I would strongly recommend for you to do is start speaking well to your body.
Nah.
Start telling your body how much you love it. Start talking to your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your organs, because guess what? They're waiting to hear from you. You talk to them all the time, but you're not doing it consciously. When you say you're sick, you get sick. When you say you're well, you get well. Right? When you say you're powerful, you become powerful. When you say you're weak, you become weak. These are the laws. This is the truth. You are in control. You are the king and queen of your life. I know you may not heard these things before, but I'm telling you the truth. You are the king and the queen of your life, not anyone else's, yours. You get to control what you're going to think about all the time. Now, remember, I told you those thoughts are coming, okay? So you choose the ones that are going to serve you. Quit choosing the ones that don't serve you. I'm weak. I'm not enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm this, I'm that. You're always talking negative to yourself. I tell people when you're in my circle, the law is you never put yourself down. Okay? So you're in control of what you're thinking. You're in control of that internal conversation of what you're saying to yourself. You're in control of that external conversation, what you're saying to the world. And you're also in control of your actions and your behaviors. No one can control that. You do. And those are the three energies that control everything in your life. Look at your life right now. I want you to look at the things you like, and I want you to look at the things you don't like. I promise you, you've created them that way through thought, word, and deed. Those are three creative powers that every human being has inside of their bodies. That's the common denominator because those are the creative forces that create your external life. Your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. So if you can get your thoughts, your words, and your deeds in harmony, synergistic harmony, moving the same direction for the same purpose and the same plan, guess what? It materializes pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
The problem that people have is that they're fragmented. They're internally fragmented. Their mind is not working with their soul. The soul's not working. I mean, things are not working in harmony, man. The body's going a different direction. The mind is going a different direction. And then you wonder why you cannot create the things you want in your life.
Nah.
You're so close.
It is so close.
It's so funny, man. When I work with my clients and I help people, you're so close. You're always in the way.
Right.
If you're struggling with your finances, it's because you're in the way. If you're struggling with your health, because you're in the way. If you're struggling with creating the life that you desire and you deserve, it's because you are in the way. It's not because it's not a possibility for you. It's because you're in the way you're thinking, the way you're speaking, and what you're doing. It's not in harmony. So if it's not in harmony, guess what? The law of life cannot support you in that because you're not working within the confines of the universal law of creation.
Man, you know, this had me. This podcast episode is right on time. I was just listening, and I'm gonna go on a little tangent here, to another podcast, Lewis Howe School of Greatness. I don't know if you ever heard of his podcast, but he was talking to Dr. Joe, and Dr. Joe has this book about becoming supernatural, how common people are doing the uncommon. And he talks about the master of the quantum field approach. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but these people had incurable diseases. And somehow these people who had incurable diseases somehow were able to heal themselves and cure themselves of these incurable diseases. And he went into a full-blown study in this, going out to all over the world where these things were happening. And then he started learning about some of the same philosophies you're talking about right now. But he just, explains it into a different type of approach. And how these people never got sick after that again, because they retrained their whole body, their cells, and it retransformed. It's just making me think about like how we are so far removed from our spiritual being because we kept in these sedative states, and how do we unbreak that chain and cycle, just like you've been able to talk about it. And how do you get people to really, because I can see a lot of people just still having limiting beliefs. How do we get people to break those limiting beliefs? Did you have limiting beliefs when you in the earlier days, and what held you back in early life?
We all do. We all do. And again, it's because you've been socialized, number one.
Yeah.
That's why your beliefs become very limited. So yeah, I did experience that. So here's what I do with every single person that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you won't do this, I won't work with you because I understand the law, man. And I don't have time to debate with you. We're not going to go back and forth. No, you're going to do it like this and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Okay. So nothing changes externally in your life. And this is the law until you change and transform that internal conversation.
Mm-hmm.
See, that secret conversation that no one hears but you and God. You see, I tell people what matters is what you're saying to yourself in the dark and what you're saying to yourself in the park when no one's around.
Yeah.
So here's what I have realized that changes every single human being's internal conversation over the 3.5 decades of doing what I'm doing and thousands of clients later. Here's what changes every single person's internal conversation. You want to know what it is, Taryell?
What is it?
Exercise.
Really? Exercise?
Do you work out?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm glad you said really. So here we go. You ready? When you're working out, Taryell, I'm 100% sure your internal conversation is empowering. Mm-hmm. You're saying great things to yourself. You're feeling good about yourself. Mm-hmm. But let you miss the gym for a couple days, for a week, 2 weeks, a month. I promise you, your internal dialogue is going to go south. You're going to start talking bad about yourself. You're going to start judging yourself. You're even going to start doing things that are not good for yourself externally. You're going to start eating stuff that you wasn't eating when you were working out. You're going to go to your diet's not going to be the best. You're not going to be drinking the best, water and things like that. You're just going to start acting externally negatively towards your health.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Have you ever experienced that?
All the time. I still do, because sometimes I get inconsistent with working out, and then it starts back up again. That whole cycle.
Okay, so guess what, bro? You just proved the law of what I said. You see, I'm a powerful. Listen, I'm a powerful dude, and so are you. But I can't control your internal conversation. Only you can. So I'm going to put it back in your hands. And here's what I do with everybody. Even, this is how I got coined the leader of leaders and the teacher of teachers. Because no matter what teacher or leader you are or what your level is, you're going to start working out. You're working with me because you know what? At the end of the day, I know when I can get your body healthy, I know I can get your mind healthy. I can get your internal conversation healthy. And guess what? I can get your body and your life healthy. Yeah. That just happens by law. It has nothing to do with me. I am just leveraging and playing the game of life and understanding the laws of your biology and the laws of your creation. Because at the end of the day, you're creating, and it's coming from the inside out, and it is not coming from the outside in. So I've got to get that inside, man. I got to get that inside powerful again. I got to get you talking good to yourself again. I need you to look in the mirror and like what you see. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I need you to understand that. Guess what? Your body is your creative tool. Now you get to create a powerful tool, or you can create not a powerful tool. It's your choice. It's your choice.
Nah.
So I'm saying, hey, listen, let's create a powerful tool, man. Let's create you are a powerful human being. You are a powerful spirit. Why not have a powerful body? Why you're strong and you're healthy and you like the way you look and you don't get sick. You know, here's the deal about disease. It's dis-ease. Remember we talked about at the beginning that your DNA knows why you're here.
Yeah.
Your body knows why you're here. Life itself knows why you're here. It's going to do everything it can, Taryell, to wake you up and to move you towards your destiny of why you came here. Now, you can choose to wake up on your own, or you can choose to let life wake you up. Now, let me tell you something. If life wakes you up, it's going to drag you down the street, man.
Nah. Yeah, it is. It is.
It's going to drag you. It's going to drag you because you are fighting it.
All right. So,
or you could just stop and say, who am I? What am I? And why am I? And really discover what that is, and then keep your form. You know, I talk to people about keeping your form. You know, when you're in the gym working out, if you don't keep your form, you're going to subject yourself to an injury.
Yeah.
You know that. You know how important form is. Taryell, you work out. Now, Taryell, I got a question for you, brother. Yeah. Where do you build your strength when you're in the gym? Do you build your strength on the positive or the negative movement of, let's say you got a dumbbell in your hand and you're doing dumbbell curls.
Yeah.
You're doing standing dumbbell curls. Have you done those before?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're doing standing dumbbell curls. Do you think you're getting most of your strength when you're curling that weight up towards your body? Or do you think you're building most of your strength when that weight is going away from your body, when you're extending that weight down?
When it's
positive or negative?
I'm going to say negative is when I think you're building the muscle. Am I correct in saying that?
You're absolutely correct. Now, remember, I told you there's a lot of life correlation lessons there from the gym. So where do you build your life? We talked about this before we went on air.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the negative things that happen in your life.
Bring the gyms right back in.
Ladies and gentlemen, man. It's the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a whole bunch of gyms right before we even started recording. And I was like, oh, we got to save some of that for the episode. We just started going in. That's how you know when you in alignment and you have another divine intelligent being in front of you and like minds just start getting at it. But yes, you're so true. Those negative moments build that muscle, build that strength, build that resilience so that you can show.
And you know what? Society has taught us that those moments are negative. So here's the truth, Taryell. Life itself is nothing but a glorious, massive opportunity.
Yeah.
That's it. So watch. Yeah. I can look at something come in my life and say it's negative, or I can look at that as an opportunity for me to evolve and to be the person I said I want to be. That's why life comes. I have to keep my form. Okay. So for example, let's say something shows up negative in my life. See, I want to be a loving. I'm always speaking out that I'm a patient man. I'm a loving man. I'm a prosperous, powerful man. And you know, when I say that, life always brings the opportunities for me not to be patient, for me not to be loving, for me not to act powerful in that moment. But I have to keep my form of who I am and who I know I am. And I have to see that opportunity as an opportunity for me to express my divinity in that moment. Because what I have come to realize is when I master that moment, it won't show up again.
Yeah.
See, what people don't understand is why things keep showing up in my life over and over and over like this. And the reason why is because you haven't mastered the moment. You haven't evolved as a spiritual being, you are acting the same way you always act when that situation shows up. So what you're doing is you're reinforcing that energy to continue to be in your life and to come back to you, because everything is a circle. That's the law. What you say will come back to you. What you do will come back to you. Mm-hmm. That's the law. Just like you're going to leave your physical body and you're going back to the Creator.
Yeah.
You're going to rejoin with the divine. Everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the greatest men that have walked our planet, some of the wisest men, some of the richest men, where are they at now? They're gone. Mm-hmm. They had to reconnect back to the divine. It's the law.
Yeah.
It's the law of your being. So if you understand, man, and you really live this life like, hey, man, you know what? I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a strong time.
Yeah.
I'm here to have a good life, and I'm here to love as many people as I can. Guess what? Life gets so much better for you that way.
It sure does.
And I think right now, Taryell, especially in the situation we're in right now, brother,
we need more love.
We don't know how to deal with each other, man.
Yeah. We need more love.
We don't. I was talking to somebody at the gym the other day, man. I was like, look what technology has done to us. Mm-hmm. Even social media. I mean, we're closer. You know, I can look at my phone and look at some things that are happening over in Dubai or the other side of the world. So we're closer in that manner. But if you go anywhere in a public place, you'll see everybody looking at their phones. They're not even talking to each other.
Nah.
We're not interacting with each other the way that we should. And when we are interacting with each other, it's negative. Mm-hmm. And that's what. So I've got something for you. And you even mentioned this even in our discussion. I love talking to people because it just continues to reinforce the law.
Yeah.
And this is the law. You ready?
What?
This is the law of meeting other human beings. First of all, I want you to understand something. You didn't meet anyone by chance. See, God doesn't do things by chance. Everything's by divine appointment.
Mm-hmm. And we right on time.
So accept that. Accept everything is by divine appointment. Okay? Here's the gift you will find in every single human being that you talk to. Mm-hmm. I discovered this when I started working with C-suite executives, people that were super affluent, people that were super successful according to social standards. And I also started talking to people that were socially forgotten, which are the people under the bridge, the homeless people. I started spending time with them because I wanted to know who they were. And I kind of wanted to know their story as well. But here's what I found when I was doing this. God showed me that there's 3 gifts. I'm going to keep coming back to that 3 because 3 is super powerful. Mm-hmm. And if you work with me, you're going to understand how powerful 3 is. And I'm going to teach you how to leverage that as a human being. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's 3 gifts you're going to get working with any, or meeting and talking to any human being. The first thing you're going to get is you're going to get inspiration. You're going to be inspired to think about something differently, to see something differently, to just observe and to visualize differently after having that interaction with that other human. Okay? The second thing that you're going to get confirmation. Mm-hmm. And you've said this over and over in our conversation. Man, I was just talking about that with this person. Man, I just told my wife that. That's confirmation. And the last thing you will get, every time you talk to another human being, if you'll look for the gift. Now, again, you have to be aware and you have to observe and you have to be looking for these 3 gifts. That final gift you're going to find is you're going to find revelation. Mm-hmm. It's going to make you think about things you never thought about before. Or it's going to make you think about things in a way you never thought about it before. That's revelation. Confirmation, here's what I love about confirmation. I tell people this. You see, here's the deal. God's not going to tell someone something else about you that he hasn't already told you directly. You just don't believe it. God gives you instructions on what to do. You just don't believe it. So you have to get confirmation. Other people have to come and tell you. You have to read it in a book or hear it in music or see it on a billboard or get this random thought. Mm-hmm. This is confirmation. What do we do with confirmation? I tell people this. Confirmation is just act. Mm-hmm. God is saying, act on that thing that I've told you to act on. Move towards that thing I told you to move towards. Do that thing I told you to do. Say that thing I told you to say. Believe in that thing I told you to believe in. Because that's your answer. That's your next pebble. That's your next step to get to the greatness of who you are. Mm-hmm. But most people, they don't act on it, Taryell. They keep spinning their wheels. They don't believe in it. They're afraid of it. Somebody in their family told them not to do it. You're crazy. So you don't listen to that internal navigational system that God created inside of you. You'd rather listen to someone else outside of you who don't understand all of that. They have no connection like that. You see, here's the deal. God has given you a plan and given you a gift, and it's not here for anyone else to understand. Mm-hmm. It's just not. Yeah. It's your gift, man. Yeah. It's your plan. Yeah. There will be people that will support you in this. I promise you. It's the law. Yeah. We're all created. We're all here in this game of life. But don't expect anyone or wait for anyone to validate what's already been put inside of you. Mm. The biggest fear that we have, Taryell, is people, they have all these gifts that have been given to them, and they're afraid to step out there because they don't believe that they can monetize the gift that God's given them. Mm-hmm. When they don't really realize that your wealth is when you follow that plan.
Absolutely.
You'll make more money following that plan.
You'll live more life.
You'll be happier following that plan. Yeah. You'll be fulfilled following that plan. How do I know that to be true? Because that is the plan that has been stamped inside of your DNA. It's that blueprint I was telling you about earlier. Mm-hmm. And no one's going to be able to fulfill that but you. Nice. So you can run from it for a long time like I did. You're going to get tired. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get angry. You're going to have all these negative emotions until you accept who you are. Until you accept why you're here. Until you accept what you agreed to do when you came to this planet. That's where your peace is, man.
That's where your peace is. Rise Urban Nation.
That's where your joy is. Woo. That's where your power is.
My Rise Urban Nation listeners, if you're listening to this right now, whether you're on the podcast, whether you're on YouTube or you're watching clips in the Instagram, make sure you drop a fire emoji. I couldn't have said it better. Inspiration, confirmation, and revelation. Those three things. If you didn't take anything away from what was just said, make sure you take away those three things. Anytime.
I mean, Taryell, look at what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
We got inspiration, revelation, and confirmation out of that situation. As painful as that was for our country, right? And it's divided our country even deeper. You understand? Because people are not paying attention, man. Mm-hmm. They're just not paying attention. Yeah. It's unfortunate that we are now in a world. I thought it would be so different in 2025, man. I was born 1965, brother. Mm-hmm. But man, I was like, I thought for sure in 2025 we would have evolved enough as humans and as a nation to understand that people have different opinions and they have a right to voice those opinions. I was talking to my wife about this last night. I was like, we all know when you're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. You already know. If you got to put a mask on to do something, you shouldn't be doing it.
Man.
If you got to put gloves on, if you got to sneak up on top of a building with a gun to shoot somebody, you already know it's wrong.
Man.
And you know what's so crazy is that young man, whoever did that, they could have made a bigger statement just by go. And the thing about Charlie is that he would allow people to actually debate with him in a safe space, to where he would discuss and you would have an open forum and an open conversation about your beliefs and his beliefs. The guy would have been more powerful if he would have just got off the building, put the gun down, and went down there and had an open debate with him.
Nah.
Just said, hey, man, you know what? I disagree with what you're saying. I'd like to talk with you about that. He would have, Charlie would still be alive. The gentleman who did that, he wouldn't be in trouble. Charlie's kids would still have their father on the planet. His wife would still have her husband, and all this stuff wouldn't have never happened if he'd have just sat down and went down there and spoke to him like another human being and said, hey, man, I disagree with your perspective. Yeah. Or this is what I believe. You see, at the end of the day, we are different. And here's the thing, what people don't understand, Taryell, if I can say this, okay? Diversity is the birth of evolution, okay? Disagreements is how we evolve. Taryell, if you and I agree on everything, how are we ever going to learn anything new?
We won't. There has to be.
You see, our disagreements When I disagree with your perspective or you disagree with my perspective, when we sit down and talk about it, guess what's going to happen? We're both going to see a totally different perspective just through the conversation. And then there's going to be an opportunity for us maybe to unite in our belief or unite in the way we think. Okay. But it has to be an open discussion.
Yeah.
And this is what makes evolution happen.
Yeah.
Think about it. We would never evolve as a society, as a nation, or even as human beings if we thought and we did the same things we did 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago. We have to think differently. We have to speak differently in order for us to become differently. And we also need to realize that life itself is diversity. It's diversity of color. It's diversity of thoughts and behaviors and beliefs. That's what life is about. That's the beauty of life. And we have to embrace that. And we have to leverage that. See, when I meet someone who's different than me, I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about that. The more different you are from me, I'm super excited because you know what? It's an opportunity for me to learn something.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for me to grow. I want to know about you. I want to know your background. I want to know why you believe the way you believe. I want to know what you're doing because you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't affect my life unless I allow it to.
Yeah. And that's where it goes back to going back into that internal DNA. And I think what most people do in this is that they, instead of relying on that internal DNA, they look for all those external standpoints. And I'm like, listen, this vision, this was given to you. It wasn't given to me. So I may not see your vision or your internal DNA, but that's okay. Because it was meant for you. It wasn't meant for me. And you are the one that have to make that vision come to light. Right. And that's the beauty of having diversity. It allows for you to go internally and create things that may be in your vision and scope, and nobody needs to die over their thought or their vision of the way they see things. And that's the beauty of society. If we can look at, each other's humanity, our shared experience while we're in this world, it creates this tapestry for us to create something better in the future. And everybody can still sit in their truth and move forward in that creation of life and things that we want to create and see come forward, right?
Yes.
You've been in this game for 37 years now. You've worked with athletes, entrepreneurs, everyday people. What's your blueprint for transformation? I mean, let's break it down. We got the 3 pillars, right?
Well, the blueprint is already created, man. I want people to understand something. I'm just your tour guide.
Gotcha.
Okay. The power's already inside of you, man. All I'm going to do is show you how to unlock it. And what you do with it is up to you. So I'm not telling you who to be, what to be, and how to be. I'm just going to show you how to master the laws of your biology, first of all. Okay, that's the first step we take. We got to get your body healthy. We got to get your internal conversation healthy. And we have to get your internal belief healthy. So when you can see your physical body transform, you can see your health getting better, you're going to feel like you're in more control of your life and your body. That's the first step. You're going to start talking differently. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start creating what you truly desire, and we're not going to look away from it. Okay? So after we've got your health in place, the next step we're going to take is I'm going to say, okay, what are you trying to create for your life? And then they'll sit and tell me everything. What I want to know it all. What are you trying to create? You want children? You want a career? You want a business? You want an abundance of finance? What do you want? Okay? And what do you desire to create? So then they'll tell me, Taryell, exactly what they want, which I love. And then I'll ask them the next question. What are you willing to work for?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because you can make a long list, man, but if you're not willing to do the work, see, because that's a law of creation. Action is the last law of creation. Think about it, Taryell. Look in your office, man. Look at those beautiful glasses you have on your head. Look at that headphone. Listen. It all happened this way. Those headphones were not created without action. Those books were not created without action. That shirt was not created without action. You and I couldn't even get together today without action. Action is the final creative power to creating and manifesting things externally. So these are just the laws. I'm going to show you what the laws are. I'm going to show you how to harmonize the laws, synergistically use the laws, and then your life will unfold naturally.
Nah.
So that's what the steps are. First of all, master the human body, master the internal conversation, and then the external will take care of itself.
Nah. All right,
That's the way the law works, man. If anybody teaches you any different, you better run from them.
So I got a follow-up question to that. Because Rise Urban Nation, we're all about lifting up Black and Pan-African entrepreneurs around, and innovators and leaders all around the world. You know, what's your message to that young founder who's carrying trauma but trying to build a business?
Get in the gym. Man, let me tell you something, brother. You talk about somebody. Listen, I had a lot of trauma to work through, man. I mean, you don't understand. Abuse is difficult. Abuse is a real difficult energy to overcome. I'm gonna be just straight up. And how did I do it? I did it in the gym.
What?
Because I had a choice. I could either hurt people, because that was on my mind. Believe me,
What?
I was upset, dude. I could hurt people, or I could not.
Yeah.
And so, when I was playing football and I injured myself, I was, man, everybody in my family thought I was going to NFL. I thought I was going to NFL too. I'm sure you watch football, Taryell? You like football?
Yeah, I like football.
Okay. Watch this, dude. I was a fullback. I weighed about 185 pounds, sometimes 190. I was fluctuating between 190 and 185. Mm-hmm. I was a fullback and I was averaging 10.5 yards a carry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Okay. But I ended up my freshman year in college, I blew out my lateral meniscus and my ACL on both of my knees. One hit. Uh-huh. I ain't done yet, man. Uh-huh. L3, L4, L5.
What?
Blew out two. Yeah. One hit. So actually what happened was the team that we were playing against in Texas, they had it out for me. The coach had told them they needed to get me out of the game as soon as possible, or they had no chance of winning. So they had a bullseye on my back, and they got me out the first quarter.
That's crazy.
I remember when I hit the ground, Taryell, I just knew I knew I was in trouble. I had been hit before, I had been hurt before, but nothing like this. Mm-hmm. So I laid on the field, and I tried to get up, and I couldn't get up at all. So I just kind of wait for the team, the coaches, and of course the trainers and everybody to come and help me up. So they helped me off the field. I was in a real bad place, man. I had a real hard decision to make. Mm-hmm. The decision was have the surgery and potentially get back on the field and play football again, or not have the surgery and lose my scholarship. It was unfortunate. My parents were not economically in a place or financially in a place where they could afford to pay for college for me. So I had to make a hard decision. And to be honest with you, all the coaches, all the trainers, all the doctors, they were saying, do the surgery, Tony. We can get you back on the field. We can rehab you, and you can continue to play football and potentially play for the NFL. But I tell you something, man, there was something inside of me that was just, Taryell, man, it kept saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do the surgery. Don't do the surgery. And that was one of the toughest messages I was getting. I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, what do you mean don't do the surgery? I got to do the surgery so I can play football. Mm-hmm. But I kept hearing it louder and louder. And I finally went into my coach's office and I said, I'm not doing the surgery. And Coach Hartline, he was like, what do you mean you're not doing the surgery? I said, Coach Hartline, I can't do it. I said, everything inside of me is saying no. Now, you got to understand something. We didn't have orthoscopic surgery like we have now. Mm-hmm. They used to cut the knee wide open. They used to cut the back wide open, mm-hmm. To help you. And mm-hmm. I was totally against that. So for a year and a half, man, I was in depression. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm talking serious depression. I stopped going to the gym, working out. So remember we talked about that. This is how I discovered the law of internal conversation, brother. Nah. I was talking negatively to myself. I was eating bad food. I was drinking alcohol. I was smoking weed. I was chasing women. I was doing everything I possibly could to manage that depression and that anxiety. And I just got in a real bad place in my life, mm-hmm. real bad place. And then after a year and a half, I just kind of woke up and said, okay, enough's enough. I need to do something different. And I had a friend come knock on my door His name was Pastor Newton. And that's when my life began as far as me understanding the spiritual aspect of life. I made some hard decisions at that time that I wanted to be a different man, and I didn't want to live this way any longer. And I wanted to move into my true purpose. And that's what happened to me. I made that decision. I started asking those internal questions, and then that true purpose showed up.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for the last 3.5 decades.
I love that.
Is doing what I was created to do. And so I try to teach people how to do that as well. That, you don't have let's quit wasting time. Okay. At the end of the day, all you listeners, listen to me now. I know every single one of you have something in your heart that you're trying to create. I know a lot of you have a lot of deep questions about your being, who you are, why you are, what you are, and why life is showing up the way it's showing up for you. I know this to be true because I had the same situation. I want to show you and help you understand why you are where you're at in your life and how you can get to the better place. It's all inside of you. You're not going to find the answers outside of you. I'm telling you right now, you can keep looking. You can keep searching. You're going to find out that none of it's going to fulfill you. Why? Because it's not your true blueprint. Your true blueprint is inside of your cells. And so I'm going to show you how to tap back into them again. Divine health is inside of your cells. Divine creative power is inside of your cells. Your abundance, your prosperity, it's all inside of you. And once you learn how to tap into that consistently and frequently, then you will become the master of your existence. You were created to be the master of your existence. This is the way it's supposed to be. That's why nothing else works. And nothing else will work. It may work short term, but it will not work long term because that's not who you were created to be. So let's find out and discover who you really are.
Yes.
Let's find out and discover how to create perfect health. I'm telling you something, man. When your body gets healthier, Taryell, those answers just show up, bro. I can't even explain to you. You see, I was saying this stuff years ago on ESPN radio. Science is just now catching up with what I was saying years ago. They're realizing now how powerful we are as human beings and that we have been socialized out of our power. And so what I want to do is I want to show you, man, I want to show you the quick way to become who you desire to be. You are H3O. It's in your cells. It's who you are. You are the natural evolution. And it's a deep conversation, bro.
Yeah, it is.
But your body, and I'm going to close on this because I can go all day.
Yeah,
Your body.
I love this. And yeah, I could go all day with you. Coach, your story is nothing short of divine strategy in motion. And for those who are hearing this and they are ready to unlock their creative DNA, where can they connect with you and get started?
Well, guess what? I'm all about free. Let me tell you why I like free. Let me tell you why I like free. Hey, free fits in everybody's budget.
Hey.
Free fits in your budget. Yeah. I don't care if you are under the bridge or if you're sitting in the corporate CEO chair. Free will fit into your budget. So here's how you can get in contact with me. Okay? Just go to urh3o.com. Okay, so what that is, that's U as in the letter U, R as in the letter R, as in Ralph, H as in the letter, as in Harry, 3, the number 3, and O as in optimization. So it's urh3o.com. When you get to that landing page, just read a little bit about what I've done and who I am. And if you decide, if you're within your spirit, now here's the deal. Your spirit's going to tell you to call me. If your spirit doesn't tell you to call me, don't call me. It's that simple. I want you to listen to that internal soul. I'm going to teach you how to start listening to that internal voice. You hear it all the time, but you're not following it. That's your problem. So if your spirit says, hey, give Tony a call, then make sure you schedule a call with me. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And we're going to get to know each other. And I promise you in that 30-minute call, I'm going to show you some stuff. If you'll be honest with me, if you'll just be honest with me and answer my questions, I'm going to show you exactly what the block is. And I'm going to tell you up front, you're the block.
9 times out of 10.
So you go to urh3o.com. You schedule a free call with me. It's just 30 minutes of your time. Worst case scenario, we're going to get to meet each other. We're going to get to know each other a little bit better. If I can't help you, I'm going to be the first person to tell you. Mm-hmm. If I can help you, I'm going to be the first person to tell you. I'm going to say, hey, listen, here's the next step if you want to work with me. If you don't want to work with me, hopefully I've given you some information to empower you to make some better decisions when you get off the phone so that you can start consciously creating the things that you desire to create, because it's already in front of you. But know this, just know this. Don't call me unless you're ready to change. I'm going to know as soon as I talk to you on the phone. And if you're not ready to change, I'm going to cut the call very short. I'm going to be like, listen, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. But don't call me unless you're ready to change. And don't call me unless you're ready to master your health. Because at the end of the day, if you are an unhealthy person, or you're struggling with your body, or you're struggling with your internal conversation, we got to get that done first. And exercise is my method. It's my method. It's the law of your body, because when you start working out, you start talking better to yourself. It's natural.
Yeah, absolutely. Rise Urban Nation, if today's episode shifted something in you, make sure you subscribe, share, and leave a review, and tag us with your biggest takeaway at Rise Urban Nation. And also, don't forget my guys on Instagram too at Human Optimization 3.0. So tag both of us in there. You never know who's watching and waiting for permission to transform. So share with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll catch you on the next time. Peace.
Oh, by the way,
go ahead, break it down.
Any permission.
Say it again.
By the way, you don't need permission to be great.
Ooh,
you don't.
You don't need permission to be great, ladies.
You just got to decide. You got to decide. That's it. Call me, man. I'm going to show you something, and I promise you, you will never be the same. I promise you.
There you have it. You don't need permission. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Love you, Taryell.
Love you too, brother.